Namaste yogis, welcome to your Mod Monday. I'm Carter and today I'm going to give you some modifications for side plank. These modifications will be some to make the asana easier, some to make the asana a little bit more challenging. So let's get to our mat. All right, yogis, side plank. Side plank's good for building up the strength in the side body, building up the strength in the shoulders and the arms, and giving you a little bit of body awareness of where you are. Very strong pose, can be a little bit challenging for a lot of us. So I'm going to show you, and I'm going to recommend that you try some of these things at home because you're not going to be really sure how it feels until you get there, and then some of the modifications may help you out. So what you would normally see through like a normal vinyasa class is that we would come into it where the right hand, we're going to do right side, right hand's underneath the right shoulder. You're going to be on the outside of the right foot, and then the left foot stacks, so you got ankle to ankle. What we want to be careful of is sagging in the hips. If we sag in the hips, you're going to want to do some of these modifications that I give you here. So the first step is, can I get flat with my spine or straight with my spine? And then the left arm extends on up. The gaze can be up towards that left thumb, right? So we're really strong with the right arm, and we're straight with the spine, we're stacking ankles and feet. So this is a traditional side plank, right? How long do you hold it? Well, depending if you're in a vinyasa class, you may hold it for a breath or two. In the hips and the shoulders, is like you can stay there as long as is comfortable, right? It strengthens, it's almost like holding like a normal plank pose. Can get a little bit more challenging through the right arm because all the weight's on there. So your modifications, if that side plank is a little too much, we're going to start with the hand. So what I find is a little bit more challenging is the wrists get a lot of stress and tension. So what we can do is we can bring the elbow down so the forearm is parallel to the front of the mat, and we can do everything else the same, and we extend and lengthen. Still very effective, but it gives that right wrist a chance to soften and really focuses on the right shoulder. So this is a really nice modification if you're having some issues with the wrists. Now, if you really love the space between the body and the floor, you can use a block. Now, you got different blocks, and you have this wooden block here, which is a really nice block. But if we're looking for a lot of weight that's kind of pushed down under the wrist, I would suggest something a little bit softer, like one of these a little bit less expensive blocks. And what I would recommend would be to take the hand around. It could be up a little bit higher this way or a little bit lower this way. And the key is the squeezing of the block with the fingers, and that's going to ignite the muscles on the wrist. And so when we come down, we can squeeze and we can come on up, and we have a little bit of cushion on that wrist, as well as the activation of the hand squeezing the block. So that's the modifications for the hand. As we start to move down to the feet, what I find is really nice modification is when we're stacking feet, we can sometimes feel a little awkward, a little like off balance. So we can take the feet and we can stagger. So the top foot can come in front or behind. And this gives us a little bit more leverage to kind of access that stability inside plank. Doesn't modify and change the sensation at all. It gives you a little bit more stability. Now, if you're feeling like you're sagging in the side body, like the hips are dropping towards the floor, that may be an indication that it's too much. So you're going to want to do a couple modifications. So once again, hand or elbow, whatever's working. And you can just keep this inside the leg that's closest to the ground to the floor. Now, when we're in this alignment, The front hand is in alignment with that right knee. The right toes are pointing towards the left ankle. Right? So we're here, and this gives us some stability, and we can extend and we can lift. Right? So this is really nice. Now, in this pose, you can also give yourself a little bit of a balance practice by lifting the left foot a little or a lot off the ground. All right, I may be able to fall over here in a minute. So we can do this, and then there's a lot of modifications from here. We can bend the knee, we can take the hand back, we can grab foot, ankle, or shin, we can press into the hand, or we can draw the heel towards the hip. So these variations are nice kind of options that you can use within the practice. All right, are you trying it at home? It's nice to try it at home before you get to class, because you're in class and you're like, do I want to try that now? Maybe it's not the good time, right? So find out, you can play these at home and find out what's working, right? So now another option would be trying the other foot out in front of you. So the foot that, or the leg that's on top, scoots out in front. So you're doing the same kind of a thing, but you're pressing through the left foot and you're lifting the hips up. So you'll get a little bit through like left glute here, so it's a little bit of a hip opener, and you get a lot of strength and stability here, and you can really move around to find the variation that works for you here. So that's a nice option for the opening up of the hip. Now, if neither one of those are working, you can bend both knees. Bend both knees and maybe hand on hip or lower the hips down, and you can lift up as you need. All right, so find out, maybe it's here. Knees are bent. This is really nice work for that right shoulder, and you're still engaging through the belly as you're lifting the hips up a little bit, right? So this is always a nice option. So through these variations, you can play a little bit with the elbow down, straightening and bending the knees, lifting the hips and moving back and forth, but it's the sensation in the body, the integrity of the spine, that's going to dictate what you do and where you go. So how long do you hold it? Well, if the right hip drops towards the floor and you can't get that hip up, maybe you need to come out, or maybe you need to do some sort of variation. Now, I'm going to do the other side because this side's getting tired. Now, if you're wanting a little bit more in your side plank, and I won't be able to show you them all because I'm not flexible enough, but I can give you some ideas. You can stack the hands and extend the right arm up. Now, the variations can be right leg lifts on up, and this is really nice for strength through the outside of the right hip. And you can also do this binding as you press and lengthen. It's really nice. Now, if you have a flexibility, and I don't, you can reach your right hand to your right big toe and grab it. You can kind of search YouTube, some amazing yogis that are flexible can grab the toe and extend the foot up to the sky. Really nice and fun. And then if you want some extension through the right side body, you can take your top arm and reach it up and over your right ear, and you're going to get this extension. You can push the right hip up and towards the ceiling. Feels really nice. So those are a couple options. Now, another variation of the option, if you drop the left knee down and extend, you can start to bring that left knee off the ground, bring that left foot to the inside of the right thigh, almost like tree pose, and that gives you some variation if you just want to lift that knee up and down. So try those out. Make sure that it's the little bit of the work to find out what is working for you, and keep in mind, every single time you come to your mat, it may be something different, so try all of them out and see which one's working for you. Keep up the good work. I'll see you on your mat. Namaste. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, comments, please leave it in the comment section below. And make sure you subscribe to my channel to keep updated on all the latest content.